I'm 62, and for the first time in decades, I'm not setting a single New Year's goal. No vision board, no 12-month plan, no list of resolutions that I'll feel guilty about by February, no color code to-do lists. So for years, I did all that. I did the goals, I made the plans, I prayed over them, and I thought this would be the year to get it all together. And you know what happened? I'd start strong, and then all of a sudden I fail. And I can't blame anyone. I just told myself I needed more discipline, more faith. But here's what I've learned now that I'm in my 60s. The problem was never my discipline. It was that I was still living life like I was in my 20s. I was chasing goals that didn't fit the woman of God that He's been shaping. And now God's shaping me into something different than He was shaping me into in my 20s, right? And I was still pushing for things that used to matter to me. But when I sat down and asked the Lord, what is most important now? Some of those things don't matter anymore. And if I'm honest, I was exhausting myself. So this year, I'm doing something radically different. I'm not setting goals. I'm not trying harder. So in this video, I'm actually going to show you what I'm doing instead and why this simple shift has brought more peace and more clarity and more obedience than any other goal did for me. Because here's the truth. You're not failing. You're just using a playbook that is no longer for the season you're in now. Maybe you're using an old playbook. So let's get straight into it. I'm Britt, welcome. I love talking to women who feel stuck, but then realize maybe they're just stuck on the wrong things. So let's go over some myths. Like number one, I need more willpower, right? We tell ourselves if I were just more disciplined, if I had more willpower, if I tried harder, if I had more grit, I'd finally be consistent, right? Have you ever told yourself that? The truth is, willpower is a terrible long-term strategy, especially in this season of life. It's like trying to live out God's calling while running on fumes and coffee or whatever else you run on that actually leads us to burnout, right? But what actually works? Identity. Because, we don't live out of logic. We live out of who we believe we are in Christ. And whether or not you think something logically, your subconscious is going to run the playbook of your true beliefs about yourself, your own identity, right? So there was a season that God was calling me to use my voice, right? To teach and encourage and speak life into other women. But instead of stepping into that calling, I kept saying, well, I'm trying to be consistent. I'm trying to show up. I'm trying to be obedient. This word trying just keeps you stuck. So I wrote plans and notes and to-do lists and prayed about it, and then I'd stop again. Now what changed wasn't a better plan. It was a better identity. And I stopped saying, I'm trying, and started saying, God has called me to this, and I'm the kind of woman who shows up. And the shift changed everything. And I love consulting women to shift their own identity to experience more in their lives. So let me reiterate, it's not about forcing yourself. It's about becoming someone who you already are in Jesus. So one action step is just to choose an identity that you'd like to step into this week, right? And say it in the present tense. For example, I'm a woman who honors God with my time. I'm a woman who finishes what God asked me to start. I'm a woman who shows up even when it's uncomfortable, right? So I encourage you today, write it down, put it on your mirror, pray over it, ask Him to shift the identity that you currently have into the one He wants you to have. And if you want support walking this out with other Christian women over 40, I've created a free online community where we do all this together, right? It makes a heavy lift a lot lighter. So the link is in the description. Come join us. We would love that. And if no one told you today, just remember, you are beloved.